So that's something important that I should say is I'm using a small funnel. I would use 3 coals. I'll put 2 coals on the burner, and then whenever I go to flip them, I'll put the third coal on. Because I use cocoa naturals, they give a little bit more heat than the silver tab. So I try to let the heat stagger, so that I'll put 2 coals on, one on each side. I'll rotate them whenever I go to flip my third coal for the first time on the burner, and then whenever the third coal is ready, I'll put them in a triangle around the bowl, and I feel like it lets that heat come up naturally rather than jumping, and it helps with the flavor. All right, now for Tangiers, I have a different packing method that I kind of got off of N-Wheeler. He was one that inspired it. I kind of changed it up a little bit. It's almost like a reverse funnel pattern. So what I do is I take your toothpick, bobby pin, whatever you use to poke, and right where your center sphere would be, you start poking holes right over top of it. And what I find that poking holes over the center of your sphere does is it takes away that harshness that some people get, or that throat tickle. It really helps. I wouldn't recommend this method if you're using quick lights, because they ash more and they go straight down in your pipe, and then cleaning your pipe becomes a pain. Alright, so as you can see, I probably have 50 holes going around the center sphere. And then I do 4 rings going around the sphere. Yeah, I do 3 or 4 rings going around. So this is different than the oyster fork, where you poke a whole bunch of holes. The main reason why I switched over to this method was, one is I got sick and tired of packing a bowl and poking 400 or 500 holes into it and then having the foil rip on me. So I kind of switched to this method. And 1, you don't get that ripped foil, and 2, I personally feel like I've gotten much better sessions ever since I switched over to this way of doing my foil. So as you can see, now I have a whole bunch of holes here, with a good bit of holes going around the outside. And then whenever you're done doing your 3 rings around, then if you notice any space, you still want to put a good bit of holes in. This is just like a guide. Like if there's any gaps in between your rings, don't be afraid to put more holes in, like I'm doing. As always, it's kind of been like the more holes in Tangiers, the better. This method just kind of seems, it takes away the harshness. I get more flavor, more clouds, and just all around better sessions. And like I said, the main point is you still have a lot of holes, but you just have a ton of holes going around that center sphere. Alright, so there goes. As you can see, there's a lot of holes with a main concentration of coals right there in the center. So now I put my bowl on top. 2 of my coals are ready now, so I'm just going to take them, put them on. My third coal is just about ready to get flipped in like a minute. I'm going to hop back in whenever all this is done and my bowl's warmed up. I'm going to show you how it smokes. It smokes fantastic. This is my way of packing Tangiers. I personally think that it's easier as far as poking the holes go. It takes less time to prep. I feel like you get a better dense pack. It takes away the harshness and it enhances the flavor. Alright guys, so we're back. And after you put your third coal on, you put your wind cover on after maybe like a minute of that third coal being on. You don't want to jump temperatures too fast with Tangiers, because that heat spike, like I said, is it can char some of your tobacco. And then maybe like 5 minutes after you have your wind cover on, you're ready to start smoking, and that's whenever I actually put my fourth coal on the burner. And then eventually I end up taking my wind cover off and putting my fourth coal on. I personally only use my wind cover for heat management and for climbing heat, or for like whenever the heat's coming down and whenever I am waiting for my next coal to be ready. I put my coals on, like I said, in staggered order. Like for like my next round, like I'll put one coal on the burner, flip it. Whenever it's just about ready to get done, I'll put my next coal on. Whenever that's ready, I'll put it on. I'll flip the next coal. So you never really want to put like 2-3 fresh hot coals on, because I find that it'll start to burn your tobacco. Like I said, I have my wind cover on. My next coal is almost ready to be put on. Whenever that next coal comes on, I'm going to get a little bit more smoke and more flavor. But I mean, right now, I'm already getting better smoke and better flavor than what I have based on other people's packing methods. So I'm going to take a drag. My fan's on, so some of my smoke's getting blown around, but it's on to help with my next coal. So if it doesn't look like I'm getting that big of clouds, that's the reason. But you know, if the fan goes off, you get even bigger clouds. So I'm going to take my drag and show you guys. Big clouds, great flavor. And just to run through what you're going to do again, is pack with your fingers. Don't dense super pack, because then once it starts to burn, it'll create like a burnt layer of tobacco on the top, and a lot of the tobacco underneath won't end up burning, and you'll get shorter sessions. I feel like you don't get as good flavor, and you waste a lot of tobacco. You want to stagger your coals. I showed you my hole poking pattern, which is kind of a reverse funnel, but with more holes along the outside as well. And some people say that whenever they poke their holes, they poke all the way down to the bottom because they dense pack. I do not do that, because what happens is you end up pitchforking your tobacco whenever you pull it up. Some of the one, it kind of messes up your dense pack, and two is you'll end up putting some tobacco on your foil and it burns, so it's counterproductive of what you're trying to do. Like I said, stagger your heat, give it like 10 minutes to warm up, and probably about a half hour in, that's whenever the bowl reaches its peak. And I mean, if you do it right, I've had peaks last 2 hours. As long as you heat manage right, and you don't let it get too hot and you don't let it get too cold, it's fantastic. I'm going to show you some more of my cloud size. Great flavor, great taste. You know, I get it all, and definitely like whenever I first started Tangiers, I was getting good flavor. I thought I was doing everything right for probably like 3 weeks, then I changed my method, and it's fantastic. I've tried doing the foil test in the past. It's not like I'm knocking it without ever trying it. Personally, it doesn't work for me. And I get really good sessions. I hope this video has helped everyone at hookahpro.com that watches it. If you have any recommendations on maybe you try it and you change something and you get even better results, shoot me a PM on the forum. I would love to know. I'm always trying to get better sessions. You know, right now I'm just going to sit and, you know, this session should last me about 3 hours. The Pittsburgh Penguins are about to be playing in about an hour, so I'm going to just relax and watch the game. I hope this has helped you, and keep smoking.